Howdy there folks, it's Geist, bringing you some more Destiny 2 content. We're going to be doing another exotic primary in-depth guide, and this video is going to be on the Mida multi-tool, which was my favorite weapon from Destiny 1. Now the Mida has a very forgiving time to kill of about 0.9 seconds, and that requires 3 crits and 1 body. The other nice thing about it is that Mida's stability is absolutely through the roof. So what you can do is you just snap onto somebody's head and just start firing away. And the bullet magnetism and the 100 aim assist will do the rest. 9 times out of 10 you'll get the immediate kill. You just want to make sure that you're the person who gets the first shot off. The flinch will take care of the rest. As long as you get that first shot and start laying into them, most of the time it'll flinch them to hell. Now the number one way that you can make sure that you're the first person to get that shot off is to be waiting for somebody. Your radar is always going to be up due to the Mida radar, so you want to use that to your advantage and try to position yourself so that the enemy walks into your line of sight while you're already pre-aiming. As long as you're sitting there waiting for them and they walk into it, they're pretty much a goner. And that leads me to my next tip on the Mida, which is positioning. Positioning is by far the most important thing when it comes to the Mida. This is not a run and gun type of weapon as it is a scout rifle. Now, the Mida is an exception to this a little bit because out of all the scout rifles, it does the best job of pushing into that mid-range and being able to fight things like pulses and hand cannons. But at the end of the day, it's still a scout rifle, so you want to play the edges of the map, you want to play your lanes, line your sight up, don't let people sneak up on you, and that's kind of what it's built for. Since you've always got the radar up, and with that lightweight, you can swiftly move around the outskirts of the map and try to pick people off. And while you may not be racking up a ton of kills with the Mida, your kill-death ratio should be pretty nice. You should also excel at holding objectives. So in games like Control, you just kind of hang around near your objective and peek both sides of it, looking down both lanes back and forth simultaneously. And if anybody tries to run in and cap, you can just mow them down as they're rushing in. And with that Mida radar, they should never get the drop on you. Now, as far as class usage, there isn't really one class that's going to excel with the Mida better than another. It's a very, very versatile weapon, so really anybody can pick it up and enjoy it. There's not really any particular exotic armor pieces that are going to pair with it either, with the exception of the Stompies on the Hunter. I will say that combining the Stompies with the Mida makes for a very zippy kind of build. You can sort of just skirt around the edges of the map very quickly and very agile and just lay into people and then get out of there quickly. Now, as far as subclasses go, you can't go wrong with Stasis. The reason being, it's one single grenade. The Glacier Grenade has a nifty little trick I like to do where you take the grenade, look up high somewhere on the wall, throw it at the wall. It's going to make a little icy platform you can jump up onto and get a nice height advantage so that when people run around the corner, you can immediately lay into them with the Mida from above. Sort of like a little makeshift sniper's nest. It's not something I see a lot of people do, and it's certainly not something the enemy's going to be expecting you to do. Now, as far as weapon pairings go, you can't go wrong with the good old Mida shotgun combo. It's something that worked great in D1 and it works just as well in D2. Use the Mida for all your long range and medium engagements, and then if somebody gets too close, just take your shotgun, whip it out, and blast them in the face. That sounded kind of dirty, but I'm just going to keep it in. Alright, I'll stop. But anyways, sidearms, SMGs, and autos also pair really well with the Mida. In particular, I like to use either the Mida mini tool or Drang. Both of those are fantastic options as they're never going to sunset, so you'll always have a good backup to use with it. You don't have to worry about refarming a new sidearm, refarming a new SMG. They both got really good rolls on them. You can pull them straight out of collections and they're good to go. Another thing to consider with the Mida is its reload speed and its magazine size. It has a very generous magazine size of 16. Now that's not as big as it used to be back in D1 where I think it was around 20, but it's still enough to effectively kill 4 people, technically. Realistically, you're not going to do that. It's such a fast-firing weapon that you're probably going to miss a shot here or there, and honestly, if you have 4 people fighting you at the same time and you manage to win, kudos to you, you're a god with the Mida. That being said, the number one thing you want to do is to just reload. Don't be afraid to spam that reload. It is lightning quick compared to a lot of other weapons in the game, even without adding on a reloader mod. And if you do add it on, well, that's just kind of icing on the cake. But most of the time what you're going to be doing, you're going to get into kind of this tempo or this rhythm with the Mida. You're going to be sitting there posting up, somebody's going to walk into your line of sight, you're going to take them down. 1 or 2 people max, slide into cover, bam boom, pop out that quick reload, pop back out, and just keep going to town. And that's kind of just going to be a rhythm of sliding in and out of cover. Now, you got to commit to your kills. The Mida really isn't a peak shot weapon. It's not something like a bow or a high impact hand cannon, nothing like that. So you're not really going to be cover weaving to try to pop out lots of damage because you're not really going to do a lot. If you start playing that game with somebody, especially if they are using one of those weapons, they're going to win. Your best bet is to lock onto them, and you need to just start flinching them and laying into them and try to take them down as quickly as possible. And if somebody gets in your face, pull out your secondary and just give them the business. Another thing to consider is that snipers are your absolute best friends, or should I say your easiest prey. Now, most of the time whenever you're fighting a sniper, you should absolutely win. You can pull off shots a lot more rapidly and more precisely than they can, and you can lay into them and flinch them to hell while they're trying to snipe you. Now, if the sniper is already pre-peeking a lane, or if you know that a sniper has been peeking a lane, don't just walk out and get immediately domed. Slide out or jump out to throw off their aim, immediately snap onto them and start laying into them. Most of the time you're going to flinch them and kill them while they're trying to lock on. If they're smart, they'll run away, and then you have the lane now. You can sit and just watch and wait, and if they peek again, you take them down. Now that about wraps it up for the Mida, and to sum it up, this weapon is a very, very well-rounded weapon. It doesn't have any kind of crazy exotic perk that makes it stand out like some of the others, but it doesn't have any weaknesses at all. It is a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none type of weapon, but in the hands of a master, it will absolutely dominate. Thank you folks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.